We are again, Nick. It's time. Loser bracket final. It's the last best of 3 for today, actually. Everything else will be best of 5. Well, Navi lost with or without DDoS. It was pretty much on both sides, so let's just call it a tie right there, and let's hop directly into the draft. Let's see how far they are already.
Yeah, let's see. We do not have the map striking completed here as of yet. Just waiting on that a little bit here. And Gamers2 going to ban out Home of the Spider Queen. Now, what will be the response from Navi? What maps do they not want to play on here? And looking like Garden of Terror being banned out from Navi. Gamers2 also banning out Cursed Hollows, the most standard map of Heroes of the Storm, not going to be played here. Back to Navi, which will be the map that they decide to ban. Blackheart's Bay, Dragonshire, Haunted Mines, and Sky Temple still available. Curious to see what we will have as our map in Game 1.
Well, I'm already happy that Cursed Hollow is out, which means there is a chance that we maybe see a Sky Temple or Dragonshire. That is like the best chance, I guess.
Yeah, still waiting to see what it'll be here. Blackheart's Bay being struck out by Navi, and let's see, Haunted Mines being struck out now by Gamers2. Will it be Dragonshire? Will it be Sky Temple? We'll have to see, and it is going to be Dragonshire here for Game 1 in this lower bracket final.
Yep, definitely. And Dragonshire, well, actually good experience there on Gamers2 side. They were handling pretty much everything that is like controlling unit-wise. Good. Garden of Terror, nice performance. Dragonshire, nice performance. So Gamers2, they already proved themselves right there. This is their chance. Like being kicked down in the loser bracket, now coming back up and fighting for that finalist spot. Navi, well, alongside with Team Liquid, the absolute favorites here in the entire tournament, obviously, but with all this DDoS and a disconnecting going on, then that might be the disadvantage that gives Gamers2 the chance. Or maybe everything will be fine, no pauses, no disconnects, no DDoS whatsoever, and Gamers2 beat them just in an old-fashioned style. Let's see. I mean, it's gonna be definitely very interesting, because this is Gamers2 chance to go against the best here in Europe.
And Navi definitely doing their homework on Gamers2, banning out the Sylvanas, but Gamers2 with the ban on Diablo also doing their homework on Navi. Navi really liking that Diablo pick in this tournament, and now it will be Navi's choice to first pick here. They have multiple premium heroes available. They could go for the Illidan, they could go for the Jaina, they could go for the Lost Vikings, but they could also do some other stuff as well, Vala or an Uther. There's so many different choices available to them here, and we'll have to see what kind of composition they want to go for.
Yep, I mean, we know Navi earlier in the tournament, they were running the Diablo Tyranny combination as a roaming combination, also very nice in the fights. It worked out very well for them. This way they made it into the winner bracket final. That's why I completely support that Diablo ban on Gamers2's side. But of course, there are still many options, and both teams proved that they can run pretty much anything. Even when we doubt their draft, like in the Stigma versus Gamers2 game, where we thought like, oh, is this enough damage and everything, they just pulled it through, and Stigma just, yeah, failed to, I don't know, counteract it, even though we gave them heads up for the draft. That's where we stand at the moment. Vala being secured by Navi, and well, Gamers2, they have to answer with 2 more heroes there.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised to see the Vala pickup here. It was a pretty common first pickup from Navi, even using that as a first pick to build their Wombo combo setup, but Diablo not going to be in this game, being banned out by Gamers2, so will this throw a little bit of curveball into Navi's draft strategy? I'm not sure, but they are confident with that Vala first pick. Gamers2 responding with the premier melee assassin in the game, Illidan, feared by so many players across the Nexus, will be the first pick here. And what will go along there? Jaina is still available. The Lost Vikings are still available. 2 other premium choices. But we could see Uther here, the top support in Heroes of the Storm at the moment, who is so strong with Illidan. We could also see Tassadar, because Gamers2, this is going to want some wave clear, I feel. Tassadar being a good pair with Illidan. But ETC, definitely another option. And yes, it is going to be ETC, a really nice choice. using that Diablo ban to their strategy and being able to get both Illidan and ETC together is a really nice combination.
Yep, and with ETC, Gamers2 is the only ETC in this tournament so far that ran a mosh pit and won with it and found really nice mosh pits. If you remember, we had another ETC choosing mosh pit and he casted it once in the entire game and then already lost. So that was completely fair. Everything else we just saw the stage dive, standard build. So I'm looking forward if Navi maybe has to face here the mosh pit. Mosh pit is always something that is, you know, it's in the air. You never know, does it come, does it not come? A lot of times Gamers2 and Sichu was playing the ETC. Most of the time he will get it again here. And he was faking all the time, like going in, power sliding in, maybe casting a mosh pit, maybe not. So the enemy team, Stigma in that case, always had to like disperse, otherwise they would have been caught out, and I definitely like that. But we have to see Navi now with Vala and Jaina. That's a lot of burst damage, and we are not sure what Gamers2 get in support. It will definitely not be the Uther, and that's of course a bad sign.
Yeah, just going back to that ETC pick, I feel with the Illidan, it's probably going to be a stage dive, especially with Uther, and well, Uther coming out for Navi, able to cleanse and stun that ETC should he decide to go for the mosh pit, but Jaina also coming out for Navi. Navi getting the two top ranged assassins in the game, and Gamers2 with the top melee assassin. So those assassins being very important choices, and Navi also stealing away that Uther from Gamers2, but Gamers2 going to get the worm once again. We did see them play against Team Stigma with the Illidan Abathur combo in the first game of their series, and once again they're going to bring it out. And will it prove to be strong here? We'll have to see what Navi's answer to this hero pick is, but we're still waiting on another hero to come out here from Gamers2.
Yep, I mean the Illidan Abathur combo, it was devastating for Stigma. They had to face this. I mean, this Illidan is not going to be backed up by Uther for obvious reasons, so it's not that dangerous. But we have to see what's coming out here. I mean, we could see a Rigor for the ancestral healing, and then hoping that maybe the Carapace is enough. But no, it's going to be a Malfurion. And what do you think will be the last for Gamers2?
It's definitely a good question here.
Tassadar?
I feel like they might be lacking a little bit of damage there, but I guess it could be Tassadar. Tassadar being so very nice to go along with the Illidan to give him the extra shielding. Melee assassins can be quite fragile, and that extra shielding from Tassadar could be a good choice there, but it's still a good question. I don't know. It could be a Sergeant Hammer, but I'm not completely sure. Now, I'm just curious to see what Navi is going to round out their composition with. And yes, it's going to be Zeratul. They have run some Wombo combos in this tournament, not really having such crazy Wombo with that Diablo being banned out, but still confident in the Zeratul play. I don't know if it will be the melee Zeratul or not. I feel like it wouldn't be, especially with the heroes they already have picked. But, yeah. Will it be a warrior last from Navi? I have to imagine it will be.
All that burst they have, Navi, and it's a lot of burst right there. I'm not so sure if that really works out, because like the HP pool of all those heroes is pretty low. So Illidan that doesn't get burst down, survives the first wave of burst, for example, he will just wreck through that Jaina and that Vala, and maybe even a Zeratul if he spends his blink, for example, offensively. Well, that's kind of the risk I feel at the moment in this draft.
Yeah, and we're still waiting to see what is Navi going to go for. They have run that warrior-less comp before with the Zeratul, but they just don't have the Illidan to go along with it, so I have to feel this is going to be a last-pick warrior here from Navi, and we are getting short on the time pool here. Only 10 seconds left for a Navi, so what is the hero going to be? We're going to see any second now. And yes, it's going to be Arthas. Arthas, the Lich King himself, quite potent on this map with the roaming. Can be really nice. because of this small distance between the middle and the bottom lanes. But yes, it is going to be that Sergeant Hammer I was talking about before. So Gamers2 with Illidan, with the Hammer, very comfortable heroes. They really like playing. And yeah, Sergeant Hammer, very good on Dragonshire.
But in this, to be honest, I kind of fear for that Illidan, because what happens after evasion? What happens after the evasion? That's what the big question mark is for me. How does that Illidan survive after the evasion? I just don't see it happening, because Jaina, Vala, Zeratul, and maybe even some damage, and Arthas can go for burst damage with Frostmourne. Like, this is just crazy. So that Illidan out of position, it will just melt like butter. That's for sure.
Well, one thing to keep in mind here, they do not have that Tassadar for the extra shielding, but they do have Abathur, who is able to provide a shield to Illidan, so maybe that will be the saving grace of the Illidan pickup here for Gamers2. But Na'Vi, with such an interesting and strong team composition, I'm really eager to get into this game and see how these teams clash. Will be the first game here on Dragonshire, a best-of-3 series, the losers bracket finals. We're finally here.
Yep, and it's one of those games now. Loser bracket final means who loses goes home. It's a best-of-3 where it's pretty much everything. Who's losing here is still in the money. That's the good thing. But of course, if you have the split of $3,000, then you don't want to settle for the number 3, right? You want to go for at least second or first. However, all of those teams made it. They're all winners already. They're here in the Enter the Storm Cup, number 1 by Alienware and Rocket. Whoever wins, or whoever's second, whoever's third, they're in the money, they get the hardware, so all that hard work, all those qualifiers they had to play to actually get here, it was already worth it. But we have to see, they really want to go for the real deal, and wow, the lobby creating and everything is pretty fast, so let's hop in there right now and check it out. We are ready to go. And I forgot to look, is Na'Vi on the left?
I did not actually see, unfortunately, missing it once again, am I? But a little bit of trolling going on in the lobby, as always. Na'Vi, man, these guys have been really, really friendly. And but yeah, Gamers2 is such a cool team as well. So finally, we're getting into this game here. Pretty quick start, but...
Well, let's see. I have to check my overlays if we're on the right side. But yeah, it is Dragonshire best of 3, guys. It is the last series before the final, so this determines the second finalist. Of course, if it's Gamers2, and I already said that, they played already 5 games in a row, only had the small break when Na'Vi played Liquid. Now they potentially play another 3 games, and then they could potentially play another 5 games. Liquid, however, they could rest the entire day because they were already in the winner bracket final and they knew their position. They had this warming up against Na'Vi, and that's pretty much it. And yes, I have to change my overlay, so give me that second.
Yeah, and we do have Gamers2 on the left side of the map here, spawning as the blue team, and on the right side of the map, spawning as the red team. We do have Na'Vi. Did I mess up the names there? No, I didn't. Gamers2 on the left and Na'Vi on the right. So yes, we are on Dragonshire here, and yeah, we do have that Abathur pick again from Gamers2. Really, really interesting pick, but it has been working out for them.
And we have to go for a really fast intro. It seems like they don't go for that clash which we usually see on Dragonshire. So to ADRD, he is of course again on that Abathur as usual. Jave is now playing, well, that ETC, which is quite interesting because I thought we seen on something else. Sicho is, never mind, on that Illidan, and Sicho of course on the ETC, just as we expected. Leo playing that Malfurion and Nicker on that SGT. On the other side, Cilium, the one with the internet issues, playing now Vala. I hope everything is fine. Ethereal, Swimpy, Breeze now going for this rotation here, maybe finding that ETC, but yeah, they're gonna group up with Splendor, who's playing the Uther. That's pretty much the roster we are looking at the moment, but it really seems like that Gamers2 is going for what they always do. Nice little rotation, and they're even more active than Na'Vi. Usually we know Na'Vi as the active team with the rotations, but it seems like Na'Vi is a bit more laid back right now.
Well, Na'Vi did clear out the middle, and now they're roaming to bottom. They did roam to top earlier, but it's hard to pick off an ETC. But here is Malfurion. Is he going to die here? Yes,
That damage,
he
it's
is.
unreal. It's absolutely unreal how much damage they just did to that Malfurion. He just exploded. I think Abathur didn't even manage to get the Carapace on him because he was on the Illidan in the mid, but that was insane amount of damage. Nicker, well, probably trying to get that shrine, but it's not really worth it right now anyway. But yeah, Malfurion, he just has to suck it up and get back to the lane. That was something he just didn't expect. The Howling Blast, especially connecting there, that was really, really bad news. The experience, however, it didn't tip over like in a crazy favor or something like that. It's relatively equal.
Yeah, you gotta be afraid when Azeratul, Arthas, and Jaina are roaming for you. As a Malfurion, just getting deleted from the game. Such a strong roaming style here coming out, and we do have another route here onto Nicker, but he's able to get away, and now he's even pushing the issue. Breeze is being a little bit low on health there.
Yeah, but it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous what can happen there. Just one Howling Blast in position, which means all the damage from Jaina coming in. Cilium with 2 skill shots on you, and if you don't have a healer around or anything like that, that's really bad news. But look at this, Ethereal getting tons of damage, and the last spike of Abathur ending it. Just the right clicks of Nicker were enough, so nice kill there. That's the revenge he needed, and they claim the shrines. Of course, in the mid, well, ETC against that Zeratul, he can try for the DK right now. Oh, well, Splendor trying to do something top, as well as Artist, like, going at the moment on Jove here, but, well, with the Abathur, is that enough? Oh my god, it is enough. I can't believe that. So, Breeze going down, and they can't claim the DK. Well, even ETC having some problems. 1-on-1 versus Jaina, that's something you don't want to do, even as an ETC.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about the talents here. We do have Arcane Intellect once again coming out from the Jaina, and let's see what else here. It's going to be a symbiote build from the Abathur here, so pretty usual stuff from the Abathur, but Arthas going for that Frost Presence at level 1, not too common. I've only really seen Na'Vi pick this up here, and yeah, very nice. It allows him to get even more roots.
And Nicker has to be careful. Howling Blast is pretty much his death, and actually it connects. Now, what does Jaina do? Well, they know they're not gonna get their damage combo in there. He's too fast with the Afterburn pulled there pretty much. But now we have to be careful in the mid. ETC has to guard that DK spot, and Illidan, he has to take the top shrine. But Shrimpy, he doesn't care. They know they're not gonna go for that early DK anyway. They rather look still into bottom. And if Leo, for example, gets that Howling Blast, that might be exactly what they need. Because Malfurion, it's pretty much a paper hero in comparison to what damage is saying hello to him.
Yeah, and we have another attempt to kill Nicker here. This time, the combo is pretty good, but the protective shield coming out from Leo from
And
Korea.
the ETCs come in, but they don't circle around. Breeze actually makes it out. I actually thought the ETC is maybe cutting the way here by for Breeze, but nope, they don't do that. Instead, they're gonna take the shrine, and well, the ETC is at least gonna say hello. For now, it's just the Abathur saying hello to Splendor. He's getting tons of damage, and they have to interrupt. There's the cast, there's the Howling Blast, but not much is gonna happen. But no one else is at the moment claiming the shrines, which means the ETC can keep on just pushing on that DK spot, which means they always have to be there for the interrupts. And that Abathur, of course, doing some peeling damage even from the creeps.
Yeah, I just feel the roaming style of Na'Vi is not doing its job as we have Breeze getting caught out here. They really need to focus on keeping that shrine in check in the bottom lane.
Arthas in the mid. He's actually going down. Like that combination. Nice rotation by Illidan coming through here. He leaves his top lane and it was well worth it. Just getting that fast kill. Now going back. And maybe he claims the shrine back against that Zeratul, and they can try again on a DK.
Yeah, I have to imagine he will, because he has that added benefit of the Abathur. So he has been controlling that shrine for a majority of the game, just losing it temporarily there on that roam to mid.
Oh, and I think they want to get that Illidan top. There's Zeratul, but Singularity Spike is off the target. That is of course bad, so he didn't get dismounted, he didn't get slowed. That's of course bad. Nicker, well, he gets the Howling Blast, some harass damage by Cilium, but the counter heal instantly there by, of course, the Malfurion right there. They're still guarding nicely also mid. I mean, that Uther, he has to spend tons of money just to get it all done. But Breeze gets the kill on that Zeratul, and even a tons of damage on Ethereal. He has to go back though. It's too risky. With that, they probably claim that top shrine again. But where is the ETC at the moment? He was just looking at that bruiser camp, or the giant camp, and well, nobody's there.
Yeah, Abathur proving to be such a strong pick on this map. Joey able to pick off that hero there in the top.
Oh, the cast. No, they have nothing to actually interrupt it. Malfurion is blocking it out, and this is our first decay right at level 10, which means now in the mid we're gonna have those towers falling. The SGT is helping there as well. Bottom, they cleared it all out already. This is tons of XP now going Navi's way. So bad news at the Gamers2. Bad news for Navi right now.
Yeah, and at the same time in the top we did have Abathur clone Joey, so double Illidan able to take out the Jaina there from Navi, and now we have that Dragon Knight pushing down the middle a bit for Gamers2 against Navi. What is going to be the response here? We still have another skirmish in top, Zeratul versus Illidan and Abathur. And yeah, Gamers2 just poking at mid with the Dragon Knight.
Yep, a nice split here again. The SGT goes back to the bottom lane just for the XP purpose, and then maybe pushing towards that keep. But on top, oh, they want to go on Joey. Joey, that's a bit out of position here. He's trying to leap over that ice patch, but no, it's just not going anywhere. He's going down. That was nice. But in trade, the DK did some damage in mid, actually quite a lot of damage. They lose the tower. The keep is on about 10%, 15%, something like that. And look at the SGT. He's having a blast. He's having a blast here in that lane, but now Uther is going for the stun, but Nicker is way faster. There's a knockback, everything, but oh, Malfurion, that's out of position. So much damage. Divine Storm is coming, but he survives. Tranquility now providing the heal they need, and those 4 heroes, they try to get something done, but in the end, they just have to retreat and accept that this keep is pretty much gone. If they rotate mid, they get the second keep, but having already 1 level experience advantage, and they can make it even more. Illidan, he doesn't join that fun. He goes for the bruiser camp. It's a nice timing, and the second one might follow here.
Yeah, really nice moves here with Gamers2 and that Abathur, just proving again to be a strategic genius on Dragonshire with this Abathur. I just feel that, man, giving them Abathur such a strong pick on this map, and now they are ahead. They are on that level 13 tier. Any special talents coming out, we have so much transference on the Abathur, and Facebelt actually coming out from the ET, so anytime he uses his W ability, going to slow targets down. Malfurion going for the Enduring Regrowth Life Seed combination, and Sergeant Hammer going for Giant Killer as well.
Yep, pretty much. So let's see where this one is actually going. At the moment, it's 2 giants against each other, but they're already working on pretty much both of them. But at the same time, of course, Illidan, top, there's the bruiser camp meeting each other. Well, the Abathur was a bit late on this one, so he got kinda a lot of damage, but Uther will be able to defend most of this here. But the fact is, I mean, keep is down, and they can, if they want to, get that mid keep as well. They have Napalm Strike, they don't even need much more. 2 Napalm Strikes, and this is it pretty much. But at the moment, they're not even going for it. Sichu is going in just for the right clicks. There's the Napalm Strike. Oh, there's the Howling Blast attempt, and yes, they get Nicker. Nicker, well, there's the Afterburn. Run, but Sideshoe, oh, there's the Mosh Pit. Only 1 target, instantly getting stunned. Void Prison on 3, and this is bad. This is really bad for, of course, the evolution. It's going down instantly, but it doesn't stop Abathur still. Now going for Jovi, being on Jovi, trying to do something, but he's not really going in like Arthas. He really wants to know what's going on, but there might be now the turnaround. Zeratul at the moment focus on Nicker, but there's the turnaround. There is the revenge. Don't touch the tank, and look at their HP. They're so low. Navi crumbling under all this pressure. Nobody's lost like Jovi now with all the confidence in the world, but he has to be careful. Nice jump getting out of that trajectory, and they're even gonna lose 1 more there. Vala, that was not going as planned. He was so greedy, wanted to get that Illidan, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, just really nice play there from Gamers2, just showing how devastating that Illidan Abathur combo gonna be, and Illidan Joey already waiting at that middle shrine, going to snag up another Dragon Knight on the side of Gamers2. Gamers2 currently 3 levels ahead, only about 2 levels though. Now it is to 16 to 14, so a commanding position here. So much map pressure, and a Dragon Knight going over to Gamers2.
Yep, the question is now, how do they use this Dragon Knight? Because like some of them had to go back in the base, replenishing. At the moment, nobody's really grouping up anywhere. Also, ADRD is not taking an aggressive position with an Abathur. He's staying safe there at the top keep, just keeping that pushed, obviously, because there's still 1 keep to take almost out of ammunition both of those buildings. They rather go for some building damage bottom and mid, so it's a typical split push strategy we see by Gamers2. And well, oh, this DK, oh, it's gonna lose tons of HP. I'm not really sure if that's worth it or if that's just a bait. Is this a bait? Power slide in, Freeman, Mosh Pit, that would have been interesting. Joey, he still has 15 seconds on this DK, so would be cool if he gets maybe one more fire breath in there or not. But it looks like, nah, he's just gonna explode, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, just a really nice position here for Gamers2. Now just pulling back, content to take their mercenary camps, trying to get even more ahead in this game. Still a 2-level lead there for Gamers2, and wow, they're going for an invade here because they're ahead on that town tier, not afraid to take any fights, and Na'Vi, knowing this, backing off. It's a smart move from both teams there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still kind of disappointed what came out of this DK, because it was just like 80% of one tower there. So I don't know if the DK uptime was really well used, but then again, it's also a nice defense by Na'Vi. Now the peeling starts though. Look at these napalm strikes, just doing all the trick. Also siege mode on. There's nothing really Na'Vi can do. But of course, if they commit to the keep, I think we're gonna see the next fight. Problem is 2 levels behind at the moment, almost 3 levels behind here for Na'Vi. So this is really bad news what we see here.
Yeah, and we have Joey poking in just a little bit, but we have Nicker on that Sergeant Hammer doing tons of damage to the keep here of Na'Vi, and Na'Vi is just not going to be able to stop this here. They aren't level 16, and we do have possible mosh pit, but no, not going to go for it. And yeah, I guess Gamers2 just wants to back up here. They did get the keep. They came what they set out to get.
Oh, this is bait call. This is bait call. They're hiding. They're hiding. What a play by Gamers2 if that one works out. But now they show, and we have to see Shrimpy might be the one. Power slide forward. Oh no, they don't get him. Even the spike is missing there. So this is bad news. But maybe they're gonna contest the cruiser camp. It depends if they actually see that they went back. But yeah, Gamers2, they make sure Na'Vi is really afraid of going out of this base. So in the end, the keep, well, it was or the fort was actually done in the bottom lane, and without a crazy fight, Na'Vi pretty much gave it away. The problem is, if we go now, what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the future, Gamers2 will be level 20 with all those talents, and I think that's where it's really getting dangerous for Na'Vi, losing even more.
Yeah, Na'Vi definitely have to take a fight, but about to be on a 3-level disadvantage, even being on the same town tier. That's just such a large statistical disadvantage for them. It's looking pretty grim at the moment for Na'Vi. They have to make something happen here, and yeah, they're just really hard pressed to stay in this game.
Yep, and at the moment Na'Vi's just trying to, I don't know, damage control, not giving them another DK, even though the last DK was everything but impressive. But I think Gamers2 sort of planned this, not, I don't know, committing on too much there. But let's see, Na'Vi at the moment is following that squad. Do they want to go for a fight before level 20? Maybe the chance to catch up, but then again 19 versus 16, almost 17. Maybe Arthur's going for something here, but look at Sisho. He's already in there. They know if Sisho gets the nice position, we have a mosh pit, so we at least need Vala being out of that mosh pit so they have the interrupt. Otherwise it's really, really bad news. But if they get Vala and Zeratul in the mosh pit, then this is pretty much a GG fight.
I really feel like Na'Vi wants to take a fight here. They are about to lose that timing window, and a Singularity Spike delaying the Dragonite, but will it be enough? Nope, the Dragonite getting picked up there by Gamers2.
There's a DK, and he seems to ignore the fact that like Na'Vi is coming there, but no, Na'Vi is now coming in. There's the Zeratul. Well, he has to get out already. Too much damage, and Uther in a very, very awkward position here. Uther is definitely going down. That's a bad start into this fight, and well, given this fact, they already have to go back. They have to defend their base. The question is, how effectively can you do this? 5 on 4 at the moment. A DK just working on that keep. I think we just have our level 20 and another keep.
Yeah, and Gamers2 just solidifying their lead even more so in this game, making it even more difficult for Na'Vi to come back. Level 20 now here for Gamers2, and Arthas getting picked off here. Could this be the end of the game? Gamers2 looking like they're just going for it here. But Leo from Korea has to be careful here. A lot of bursts coming onto him, but such a strong statistical advantage, especially with that level 20 And yeah,
It seems like they don't care. They don't care about like all the damage that's going on. Of course, Navi is trying their best, but with that decay and everything, they protect the core with the Void Piston. But I mean, Nika alone can take this down. A Napalm strike, some right clicks, easy going. Navi losing the first game, and Gamers2 like rushing through that loser bracket, being the first candidate for the finalist in the best of 5 final against Liquid. That's of course very, very interesting.
If you asked me before the series, would Gamers2 be up 1-0 against Navi, I would have called you a liar, but coming here on Dragonshower with Abathur, I'm not surprised to see Gamers2 actually being the one up 1-0. They've proven time and time again Illidan Abathur is their thing here, especially on Dragonshower. So really nice strategy coming out and even working against a top tier team such as Navi.
Yep. And we have to see what's happening. I mean, the loser bracket final is a best of 3, which means Gamers2, if they come up with another convincing game like this, then, well, it's over for Navi. Not just had they DDoS problems and everything, you have to keep in mind, they come out of the winner bracket final, and they were like, yeah, we're on a good track here, you know, making it happen, go on maybe against Team Liquid again. That would have been like the rematch of the winner bracket final. But yeah, Gamers2, they start with a 1-0, and now we have to see if Navi can like somehow prevent this, get it into a game number 3. So guys, we are coming back in about 2 minutes with a new draft and everything, and then let's see if Navi picks it up or if they just give it away.